Okay, are you ready for the 21-day metrics challenge? So the reason I do this is because if you are watching the numbers, you can see where the gaps and the opportunities are, and then start to plan out some key changes you need to make. What often happens is that we don't look at the numbers for days on end, weeks on end, or months on end, and we don't realize that our cost of acquisition is increasing or that our new users are declining. So I just want you to get in the habit of looking at these metrics every day for the next 21 days. And apparently it takes around 21 days to create a habit. But also, I want you to start to think about how you could improve each of these areas. So for instance, we're going to record traffic, conversions, sales. So for traffic, we might say our total users are 10,000. New users are 9,000. Our repeat users are 1,000. So one of the quick wins there might be that we're going to send out an email to people that have purchased before to see if we can increase these repeat users. Because what we know is repeat customers or customers that have purchased before, return customers, are going to spend more money and are much more likely to buy. And it's much cheaper to get them to come back to us than it is to go and find a new customer. So as you go through these numbers, at the end of each week, what I would love you to do, and you can change the dates up here, what I would love you to do is put in a list of things you're going to do to improve this. Come up with some quick wins. What are the quick wins we can do to improve our repeat users? Cost of acquisition for your ads. You might decide to improve your ad content, your creative, or the wording. So just think about at the end of each week what you can do in the following week to improve these numbers. All right, so I'm going to show you where to get these numbers from. So the first one is total users. So if you open up your analytics, so what you're going to need for this is your analytics, Google Analytics. You're going to need your Ads Manager, Meta, Facebook Ads Manager. You're going to need your Google Ads if you're using Google Ads, and then whatever your email database is, so Klaviyo. You're going to need that as well. That's one that I've added as an extra bonus. All right, I'm going to just pop me on pause for a second. I'll give you a couple of minutes just to go and open all of those platforms. Okay, so total users. So first place we want to go to is your Google Analytics. So in your Google Analytics, when you go into home, and the first page you'll see is this. You have new users, total revenue purchases. Yours may look different to that. It just depends what you've got set up as default. But in order to change it, you can just click down here. If you don't have total users, for instance, and you can type in total users, click on that, and that will give you your total users. So 877,000. I'm going to go back in and put 877,000. Actually, that's for the year. So I'm just going to look at yesterday. Okay, that's a more realistic number. So yesterday was 763. I'm going to go back in and just put 763. Okay, now conversion rate. So your conversion rate is the percentage of people that visited your site that actually purchased. So this one's a little bit tricky, and I'm going to show you how to set it up because it does require a little bit of setup. However, once it's done, it's done. All you need to do is go in and get the metric and pop it in here. So you're going to go down to reports. You're going to go to acquisition, down to traffic acquisition. Now, we're going to have to set this up, as I mentioned. But again, as I said, you'll only set it up once and done. You'll never have to set it up again. So up here, you'll have a little pencil. Now, you'll only have that if you're an admin on the account. So if you're not an admin, just make sure you've got admin rights on the account because you won't be able to set this up otherwise. So we're going to go and customize the report. In here, once you press that little pencil button, you've got metrics. You're going to come down to the final one, which is add a metric. And in here, we're going to add conversion. But I just need to be able to spell. And it's your session conversion rate. So we're going to add that in. I would move it up a little bit so that you can see it when you open the report. We're going to click apply. And don't forget to save it also up here, because if you don't save it up here, it won't save. I don't know why you have to click save and apply, but double counting for me. But anyway, save changes to current report, don't create a new one. And then once that's done, we're going to go back into the report and you should be able to see your session rate conversion there. So that's extremely high, and this is just a dummy account. So I wouldn't expect those numbers. Now we're just going to go back and see yesterday. So it's saying session conversion rate is 14.29, which I know to be wrong. But let's say your session conversion rate sits at about 2%. We're going to go in here and stick in 2%. Okay, then you've got your sales revenue. So going back into your report, we'll just go home. That's a really easy one. If you don't have it up here, again, e-commerce, we're just going to do purchase revenue. So just type in purchase revenue and you should get your number there. So let's call that $5,000. Okay, average order value. This is where you need to go into your Shopify analytics, and I'm going to show you how to find that. It's a bit of messing about for the first time, but once you've got it, and the notes are in here to tell you where to get it, you should be able to do this. The first time you do it will take you about 10, 15 minutes. The second time you do it should take you all of about 5 minutes. Okay, so you've opened up your Shopify store. You're just going to go to analytics. In here, this is a dummy account, as I mentioned. You're just going to select yesterday. So I'm assuming you'll do this the day after the event, and that's when you want to do it, to keep on track and on top of it. You're just going to click on yesterday's date, click apply, and then that will give you your average order value down here. So that will give you your number. So again, one of the things we might decide to do at the end of the week is we might see that our average order value is higher on a particular day. So we might decide, actually, Wednesday is a good day to do an email campaign because we know if we can drive more traffic, generally the average order value is high. Or you might see that your average order value is dropping. So we might add in an incentive to increase the average order value. So it might be that if you add on another product, you might get it at a slightly discounted rate. So again, we're just trying to think about ways in which we can increase and improve these metrics. Awesome. Okay, so now you've got your average order value. We are going to go and grab, so I'm going to call that $150. We're going to go and grab your new users and your repeat users. So back to analytics. We've got users, you can see in there again. If you don't see it in the top of here, just toggle here and put users in. And then I'm just going to put users again. And I want to put new users in. Now, this is going to give you a really good indication of new people coming to your site versus existing people coming to your site. So you can see yesterday, or last 7 days, sorry. So always remember to just check yesterday. We can see that 7 users came to the site. Out of those 7, 7 were new, were completely new. So I'm just going to go in here. I'm going to put 7. So in order to work out your repeat users, let's say your total users was 10 and your new users was 7. So we're just going to do 7 minus 10. You get 3. So repeat users is 3, so people coming back. New users is 7. Again, we just need to watch that metric. Okay, cart abandonment rate. Let me show you how to get that. So cart abandonment rate is really important because it shows us how many people are putting into cart and then jumping out. And there's some benchmark metrics in school to have a look at, and we're going to track this number really closely. Okay, so because it shows us if there's a problem with your cart or if there's a reason why people aren't checking out. Like if people are putting things in their cart and then a huge amount of them are dropping out, what's the problem with the cart? What can we do in the cart or around that process to improve it? Because they're already hot. At that point, I would class them as a very hot lead. They've put something in the cart. Okay, so if you go into, so we're going to go, I'll just show you, we're going to go to reports. And then we're going to go to monetization. And down here, you've got purchase journey. So click on the purchase journey. And here you can see that 8,000. So yesterday, 8,504 people started a session. And then 5,000 actually viewed a product, 315 added to basket, and then 98 began the checkout process and 48 purchased. So out of 315 that actually added to basket, which is the metric we want, 315 people, 48 purchased. So 48 divided by 315 is 15%. So 15% of the people that added to basket actually purchased, which means 85%. I told you I'm not a mathematician. E-commerce in my sleep, but maths, no. 85% put stuff in their basket and then didn't check out. That's quite a high number. So that's something we want to reduce. So I want you to go back over to your metrics and put in 85%. And I'll put in a little formula here to show you how to calculate that. Okay, so I've just added in a cart abandonment calculator in here. So going back to that example, if we had 48 people that purchased, we're going to stick 48 in there and go 48. And then we had add to basket was 315, which means the cart abandonment rate was 84%. Okay, so that's going to give you your metric. So we'll put 84% in there. All right, this is where it gets a little bit complex. You're just going to have to stay with me for this one. But again, as soon as you've done it, you'll know it for next time. It will make it so much easier, I promise. And we're going to get some good results out of this. All right, so we want to go, for those of you with ads, we're going to look at your return on investment from your ads. For those that you don't have ads, the last thing I want you to do is go and grab your database numbers. Now, you should be able to get that. I think all of you are on Klaviyo or Emarsys. I don't think there's anyone on MailChimp at the moment. So if you are, that's fine. You'll be able to get the number from MailChimp or any email platform. But generally, I get this from your email platform. So this is your subscribed database. I'm just going to put that in. So the number of people you are able to send emails to. All right. So I'm going to open up Klaviyo and I'm going to show you where to get that. Okay, to find your database, you're going to go into Klaviyo. Obviously, it's slightly different on Emarsys, slightly different on MailChimp, but you find your biggest list. So your biggest list is normally your newsletter list. It's the one with all of your contacts in there, and everyone should have a master list. That's where everything goes first, and then we create various segments off the back of that list. So let's say for this account, this one's set up weirdly because there's lots of lists in here and there shouldn't be. So let's say for this account, the biggest list is, or the one where all of the contacts are, is the participants list. So you're going to click on that, and I'm just going to show you the top of that. Just give me 1 second. So you're going to click on that big list, your master list, whatever you want to call it. And then you will see at the top here, you will see members, settings, sign up, subscribe, quick add, imports, and list growth. You want to click on list growth. Now, if I grab this and drag this back down, bear with me. Okay, so drag that back down. So we can now see list size. So this tells me all the people in the list. Now, if I just go, let me just pick a day. I'm just going to pick a day back in 2023 because this is an old account. It's going to show me how many people we gained. So we gained 171 on that day and we lost 18. So we've definitely gained more than we've lost. So I want to make sure that each day we are gaining new members. So I want you to put in your database size. And what you'll see is the pattern over the week of whether your net total members are reducing. So if today was 153, and then I looked at it the next day, let's say on the 18th, it's still 153. Let's go to another day in September, for instance. Oh, I'm going to go 12th of September. All right, you can see here, we've got an issue because we gained 11, but we actually lost 15 that day. So I started off with 153. The next day or next week, I was 149. So we can see a trend going on there. We need to be filling our buckets. So that's a quick win for me. I go, what are we doing to acquire new customers? Okay, so if you're not running ads, you can jump off now. That's all I want you to do for the next 21 days. And I'd love for you to share those weekly numbers with me so that I can have a look and see if there's any quick wins. If you want to share them with me and Rachel, and we can check quick wins, send it to support@Kelly Slessor. Don't send it to my personal email address because it will get lost. Send it to support@kellyslessor.com. Or for e-commerce tribe members, you can drop it in school and tag me, either or. Okay, all right, go, enjoy, build, grow, make more revenue. For those who aren't running ads, for those who are running ads, stick on for a couple more minutes. This is as complex as it's going to get, and I'm going to show you how to do that. So to get your acquisition cost, so how much does it cost you to buy a customer, essentially? If I was to walk out in the street with some money and say to someone, come and spend some money in my store, and I gave them $10, it would cost me $10. They would then walk into my store and buy something, hopefully, but it would cost me $10 to get that customer. So this is the cost of acquisition. So if you go into your ads, your Facebook ads, you're going to click on campaigns, and then in here, don't forget to change the date, top right-hand corner. So change it to yesterday's date. I'm just going to update that. Now, in here, the cost per result, which is my cost to get someone to buy, my result is I want someone to purchase. So the cost to get someone to buy is $26.51 for yesterday. So I'm just going to go and put that in. For Meta, that's $26.51. So you can see that, $26.51 to get someone to purchase. So that's how much I gave Facebook to get someone to purchase yesterday. All right, the next thing I want to do, and again, for some brands, that makes sense. It's okay to spend that much money to get someone to purchase. But for other brands, if your average order value is $30, you are losing a lot of money. So we need to keep an eye on that. Okay, now I'm going to have a look at Google. So Google's actually slightly easier. Okay, for Google, when you go into the main dashboard, these are the colors you should see, these nice, pretty colors. I think they're trying to divert you from the amount of money you spend on Google Ads. But anyway, these are the pretty colors you see. Okay, the number we're looking for here is the cost per conversion. So that's how much I've given to Google to get a customer to purchase from me. So you can see this one is extremely high at $108. Now, if you can't see that number, same thing, just click on here and find the cost per conversion. So cost per conversion is $108. So that's your cost of acquisition. So that's $108. Every time, don't forget to pick the day. So you want yesterday. This one's a dummy account, so there's no numbers in here, but you want yesterday. So each time you go and get your metrics, your numbers, make sure you're selecting yesterday. So you can see my Google is costing me way too much money. All right, and we had database subscribed. I think we had 174 people. All right, so I just want you to track that every day for the next 21 days. Gauntlet laid down, challenge hopefully accepted, and let's see if we can get some quick wins and turn some of these numbers into more revenue. So feel free at the end of each week to send me that report, support@kellyslessor.com. Alternatively, for e-commerce members, drop it in the group. Awesome. Have the best day and looking forward to seeing your traffic and revenue grow.